The people who are constantly watching self-improvement content are always going to think to themselves that they're not enough and need fixed. So back in 2020, during COVID and lockdown, like everyone, I had a lot of free time, and it was during that time that I really got into self-improvement, journaling and working out more and reading and investing. And one of the main things I came across was just the idea of habits. And I would probably say that self-improvement has changed my life for the better. So before I get into this video and all the negatives of self-improvement, I want to mention that it's changed my life, and I think especially Ali Abdaal must have been getting big around that time, and he's definitely one of the core people who introduced me to a lot of these positive habits. And yeah, during those first few years of self-improvement, especially like working out and meditation, like it was all exciting and I was getting a lot out of it. But years later, I'm still sort of consuming this content, and I feel like I've learned the basics. I sort of know what to do, but I'm still consuming it for some reason. It's got me to a stage where for the past 5 years, I've almost built up this habit of focusing far too much on myself. Always thinking about how I could be better just isn't a healthy mindset, and it's sort of like an obsession with trying to fix or solve myself. So over the past year, I've been trying to shift away from that. I still do health and growth related things, but I do that while reminding myself that relationships, friends, family, hobbies outside of self-improvement, they're just as important. The self-improvement space seems like it's split up into two groups of people. The people who don't know how to start, and the people who don't know how to stop. The people who are constantly watching self-improvement content are always going to think to themselves that they're not enough and need fixed. While someone who never watches this content and maybe actively avoids it would benefit from watching it. So if you're in group 1 and you're constantly trying to improve your body or your relationships or become more productive, you're in a way telling yourself that your body isn't enough and that you're unproductive and shit at keeping relationships. Consuming that content is a way of telling yourself that you're not good at those things. While if you're in group 2, maybe you're avoiding all that stuff, maybe telling yourself that you're above it all, that's not healthy as well. Now, I'm assuming that people in the second category won't be watching this video, so I'm going to end the video focusing on the people who are, like me, consuming too much self-improvement. So if you do feel this way, maybe consider taking a step back. So is your YouTube or social media feed filled with personal development content? I think right now I am subbed to 30 people on YouTube, and about 7 of them are health and mindset and self-improvement related. So when I get onto YouTube, I'm not bombarded with loads of videos on how to improve myself. It's also important to remember that a lot of real growth doesn't mean endlessly improving yourself. Sometimes it means just letting yourself be enough. And I guess when it all comes down to it, it's all about comparison. Like, in most cases, we are comparing ourselves to people who want to make us improve. And I think that's great. Having hope to improve is great, but when it's done out of that comparison mindset, it's kind of a waste of energy. Like, it's maybe not coming from a genuine place. So trying to self-improve from a more genuine place, like, that would be healthier, but it's hard. It's easier said than done. But when you don't compare at all, when there's no ideal it gives you a lot of space to improve in a healthier way. You can still watch the occasional self-improvement video and maybe get something out of it, but it's also okay to just live with who you are. Self-improvement can be and is extremely valuable, but it's also okay to just live with who you are without the pressure of constantly trying to be better.